A very warm welcome back. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I know it might not change much, but it would mean a lot. Airbus A380s are set to be disposed of as VAS or VAS Aero Services, an aviation logistics and aftermarket services firm, and the Dr. Peters Group, an investment fund management firm, are expanding their partnership. What does the expansion of a partnership mean? Well, as per their joint latest news release, the pair have unveiled the placement of 4 Airbus A380s to go to VAS Aero Services for reclamation and redistribution. The scrapping of these 4 aircraft is in line with the high demand for used serviceable materials, or USM, on the Airbus A380s that are currently active. Therefore, your aircraft operators do require these, and they're in high demand, as I touched on, which is why we're seeing such deals like these be signed. A little bit later into this video, I'll get into just why we're seeing demand rising for them. The parts will be readily available in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, as well as more regions that I'll touch on as I dissect disposing of each unit. The timing of the end-of-life A380s are reaching a point where they're at their optimal for scrapping, with the mission to monetize the remaining serviceable parts really being their core focus. It is certainly an interesting avenue of our industry that maybe isn't talked about enough, but it does show you just how so much goes in to getting a plane in the skies. And when we board an aircraft, think about the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of other jobs that are all going on at the same time. You don't just have your pilots and cabin crew. A message to those people in maybe high school or the education system currently that are always told that you can only be a pilot or a cabin crew member. That's not true. There is a lot more present. So go and find something you enjoy. Trust me, there'll be something out there for you. Personally, I never had that. So if you can take anything from this video, if you would like to pursue a career in aviation, there's a lot on offer to you. Anyway, moving away from a bit of a life counseling moment to back to today's proceedings, such an agreement between the pair isn't actually, say, a new development or a first ever one. The companies worked together on previous occasions to tear down the Airbus A380. In fact, they actually dismantled the very first unit and have managed the redistribution of its parts on a persistent basis. 3 of the Airbus A380s are set to be scrapped in France. The final A380 will be scrapped in Alice Springs, Australia, at the Asia Pacific Aircraft Storage Facility. This location was actually pretty prevalent during the pandemic, when airlines in the Asia Pacific, the region probably hit maybe the hardest in the pandemic, needed to store their aircraft, and even before that, acted as an essential, basically, graveyard for retired planes. So as per the announcement, the 4th and final A380 for scrapping is going to be made available, the parts at least, for customers in Australia, the Oceania, and Southeast Asia. So the Airbus A380's resurgence is why this deal has been signed, and has been signed with a little bit of urgency. Following the height of the global pandemic, the A380's fate had been, according to many, predictable. It just wouldn't exist anymore, maybe only with a handful of customers. There were a few analysts out there that also shared the view that it was a little bit unpredictable, and we'd see with time whether a place for the aircraft would again exist. When long-haul travel ceased worldwide, airlines had to find ways to mitigate the losses that they felt across their network, and as a result, airlines often pulled the plug on their super jumbos. First, to be more efficient and also leaner when going through these more difficult times. Several leading airlines parted way with their Airbus A380s, citing its inefficient nature, sheer size, and substantial operating costs as reasons alongside the pandemic of why they didn't want to necessarily keep it on their books. However, when restrictions began to ease, demand did resurge far quicker than anyone had expected, and airlines that had mass grounded and retired these planes alongside others to cope with the lower demand levels were frankly left scrambling. The A380 once more had a place within airlines' fleets for various reasons. In some cases, your respective airlines could not acquire next-generation wide-bodies on time, such as the A350 or the 777X due to either delivery delays or just general certification problems. However, these airlines didn't have to look far, but to long-term storage, where they had some high-capacity aircraft sitting and waiting that would be a positive step forward at carrying passengers between large hubs to serve this pent-up demand that we were seeing. At the end of the day, you trap the entire world population for a year and a half, and they're going to want to travel when they can finally get out, whether that is to explore the world, see friends or family, or something else. Once more, the Airbus A380's true purpose was identified, and airlines brought the aircraft back in sheer numbers. However, your airlines that ruled out the return of the world's largest passenger plane were also feeling a lot of pressure, and they, in some cases, returned the plane back too. While the comeback, according to many, isn't viewed as a long-term one, it is for the moment a testament to what the A380 brings to so many airlines and what its purpose is that can still shine through despite a lack of orders and the many struggles it has had within our industry. So to recap, 4 more A380s are going to be scrapped for parts as your current operators require these units sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching, take care, be safe, and I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow.